Thank you so much, Lottie. That's right. It is time to close out the evening with the biggest match of the weekend. It's the Battle of the North. And introducing first, we have the Canadians, the Toronto Ultra.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, he is flying! Pressure, Looney spots him. Looney going for the 1v2!
4 go down medals. Lucky. 3 in a row. Oh my goodness!
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it one more time for the Toronto Ultra. Coming up first, we've got the Killer Cam. It's Cammy. The Spanish Freak. Give it up for Medals. How can you boo this man? It's Looney! And it's my favorite Zini. Give it up for Methods! Closing out this Toronto roster, give it up for Classic! Minnesota fans are brutal, and I absolutely love it. But I can't wait to hear the noise in this venue when I say the words, Minnesota Røkkr!
Røkkr is a possessive
force. We're a team of individuals
bound together by a power
greater than any one player.
We're from different places,
but we come together here.
And when we play
as one. Possessed by a singular vision.
Driven
from twilight
through darkness
to the dawn.
Minnesota, put your hands together and welcome to the main stage, God RX! Here is your 2018 World Champion. Let's hear it for Silly! And his partner in crime from 2018, the world champ, it's Assault! The European living it up in the tundra. Give it up for Alex! And the submachine gunner always pressing the action. Let's hear it for ASIM! Minneapolis, St. Paul, give it up one more time. It's Minnesota Røkkr! Røkkr versus Ultra. It's the battle for the North, and it starts right now.
Minnesota, it is time to rock the battle for the North, and this should be incredible. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't already excited for this, Gary V on the desk yesterday got me hyped, and then the crowd right now with the intro video.
I got chills. That video, man. Like, they were all talking. I loved it. It was such a good piece, but yeah, man, this should be a battle. Both these teams 1-0 on the weekend. Toronto, they win a Game 5, Round 11 over Seattle. Minnesota, they won Friday night against the Gorillas.
Well, let's take a look at the quick scope presented by the U.S. Air Force as we get ready to rock here in Minnesota, what should be an absolute slugfest. You see, they're both 1-0, looking to go 2-0. As we get ready to head into London in that tournament format just around the corner. But I mean, that's the big thing. That's the story here. The Battle of the North and who can get those 2 precious wins and the 20 points.
Yeah, I think, we were talking to Nameless. He's like, man, I got to make my next iteration of the power rankings. I don't know where to put people, but I think one of these teams, whoever finishes 2-0, are going to be on that top half.
Well, it's so difficult because it almost feels like it's like college football, right? Like we haven't seen everyone play everyone, so there's sort of some guesswork. And some people had really hard schedules, some people had easier schedules. So I was like, Ant, good luck with that, because it's going to be so tough. But I do want to take a look at the maps and modes as we get ready to go.
Get a Hackney Yard.
Yeah, Hackney Yard to start it off. We know that'll be fast-paced, lots of interactions. Anyone you favor in particular to start out strong in map 1?
I think I look at Minnesota. Guys like Alex, guys like Asim, just right off the get-go to bring this pace. As he was walking in, I didn't even think about it, but Asim is from Toronto, right? So he's on the opposite side now.
That's true, that's true.
Full-blooded Minnesota.
All right, Minnesota, it's time. Let's make some noise. Your Røkkr getting ready to go. We'll see how they match up against Ultra, but just the battle for the North, the battle for 2-0. And I think Røkkr looking to put to bed any question marks, any asterisks around their first win. Just show they came to play as the Røkkr chants start to get going. You talked about this man, Alex. What can he do with that MP5 in hand as he's trying to take a long-range fight? Pick methods out of the window, and as much as I'm chuckling, the kills we've seen with this particular submachine gun, one of the best to ever do it, but flying up mid-map. 3 or 4 kills in a row for the Røkkr to try and get the break into the hard point.
Yeah, so we were talking to a lot of teams this weekend, and they believe that we were not going to see this map that often. The reason is if you start Coalition, the side that the Toronto Ultra started on, you're going to control the right side of the map, really that second hill, what we're going to call tire shop. That could be such a money hill, but Minnesota, they're doing a great job off this first one, Metals. He is able to find a couple of kills, but time still going the way of Røkkr.
Exactly, this is where it starts to get interesting. About 15 seconds left, 32-0 is the scoreline. The Røkkr have got to think about trying to get some sort of break, and we know how difficult in Modern Warfare it is to flip. It does not happen really ever when you're talking about spawns. So whatever kind of mess you can make this, they did just get 4 down, but see what I mean? Look how forward. They already have players, but you're still going to spawn safe if you're Ultra. They're going to have to kill an entire another wave to really get pressure into this hard point.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of cave this weekend. I think we could sort of talk about that in its relation to really that second hill at KV. All you're trying to do is get in and just make it messy. They're doing a solid job so far. Silly, he's behind enemy lines. He's actually in the hill. He's picking up time right now. And Toronto Ultra, they spawn out. The Røkkr have flipped it. This is going to be huge time for Minnesota.
And you don't see that all that often on a map and mode like we have here, especially at that tires hard point. What a break and flip it is from Røkkr. Now pushing out to a 50-point advantage. That was sensational. We'll get the smokestacks coming up next. Really everybody vying for top green control, mid-map control as we look to rotate out.
Yeah, I think you're really going to watch that office or green building. If you can spawn them near that tire shop or bottom right of the mini-map, that's when it's easiest to rack up some time. Well, Toronto, the Ultra, they're going to get on this hill. And Silly just wants to control this top L area. Scott RX trying to do what he can. near this docks building, and 3 kills going to go the way of Minnesota. This is good for them, and you can already see Røkkr ready for these spawns.
He's in a great spot. 2, 3, give me 4. Røkkr to heal up to peak, but doesn't quite get gun up in time. You can tell he wanted it desperately to keep the multi-kill going, but the damage done. And the time still the favor of Røkkr, now eclipsing the 100-point mark as they keep rocking and rolling. What a wondrous effort. Do you think the energy in this building giving them the advantage in the early going? Oh, he got scared there for a second, but he finishes the kill.
Yeah, sometimes that adrenaline, it's getting you right there. This crowd a little bit, that heart's, it's pumping and it's pumping quick, but a great start, an 80-point lead. We're headed to Officer Green now. Silly already set up. He's got his buddy Røkkr right now, 15-6. Absolutely taking over this game. Silly continues to make big plays on the hill.
Røkkr was one of the best players over the last couple months of Black Ops 4. Hell, he was my pick to be the breakout player this year. Can he start to get into that conversation of top 5 players in the game? This might be the year it can happen, but that's going to be a 5-down situation as Ultra pick up all the kills. And finally, they start to get something going, but what a big lead from Røkkr early. Now Ultra have to begin to chip away at this lead bit by bit, step by step.
Yeah, the next hill we're going to go to, that's going to be the docks building. That's going to be far left, and it looks like Minnesota actually spawns there. I don't think Toronto's going to be ready for this. They had Methods back yellow, but Minnesota, they're going to be there. Silly's going to find a kill. Asim's going to take over. They're going to win this rotation.
I think when Methods spawned up all the way out of tires, he was like, okay, something fishy is up. As that is a favorable spawn for Røkkr. Now, how much time can they turn this into? Because you're thinking about another potential money hill that they have the early setup to. On to Asim's POV. We'll hop out, take a look around, see what we can spot. The presence now starting to work up. Look at all the white arrows on the minimap. This is the collapse. They start to pitch from every side. Can Røkkr hold on?
Metal's trying to make the play. Not able to win that gunfight, but Cammy's there for the trade. So a nice job from Toronto to make sure they're able to get some time here with 25 seconds left. That was a beautiful break.
And that's pretty stellar considering the spot they found themselves in. They thought they had those back dock spawns controlled, but it was ugly at the opening to that hard point. First set of rotations about to be done. We'll be looking at approximately a 50-point lead for Røkkr. As we'll get back to that first hard point. Methods for Ultra just lying in wait.
Trying to get in, but everybody's going down around him. Classic and Metals now, they're going to reinforce. So Methods is going to be on the hill. Silly just waiting for his teammates to spawn. Try to go on in, checks the door. You always got to check those corners. Not able to win the gunfight. It's Classic. He's able to find a nice multi-kill, and again, we talked about it that first rotation. You can see the way Minnesota's playing. That next hill is going to be that tire shop. They're playing conservative, but it's all Minnesota in the kill feed.
There comes the sweep, and here comes the time. You would love to have the spawn for tires, which they do, but to at least be able to contest and even turn this into some points is massive. It's Metals actually with a ball bang, and then 3 there from the MP5. Metals with 4 in a row, the big quad multi-kill from him, but you still have that safe spawn for Røkkr. Right side still locked down. 3 seconds left to the hard point, and just take a look at the bottom left. Take a look at the minimap and those purple arrows as they get set up for the transition. And you can see, look how deep out, because their presence still at first. Look how far out those white arrows are spawning if you're Ultra. You basically have to track across the entire map.
Yeah, one player does get through, but Asim is still inside that warehouse, so he's able to find 1 kill. Now he's watching the cross towards Forklift. Cammy's just trying to make sure that he gets some map control from top green. Røkkr, he's hanging out, still double positive, 24 and 12 from Røkkr. Nobody even close so far with 25 seconds left.
Think about that setup and those original spawns that were coming in for Ultra. They were spawning so far out. You have to win 1 wave to get close to the hard point, then win another to really get in and contest. By the time we're talking about it, half the hard point's gone. That is just beautiful, beautiful work from Røkkr. Now, over the 200-point mark, 50 to go, and they take this map 1 and light this crowd up as they are looking so strong early.
I'll tell you what, though, Metals, man, he's got a couple multi-kills already. He's 21-15, leading the way.
Yeah, he's had like a quad, a couple triples.
Cammy now on a 5-spree. You can see the white arrows near the top. They're just trying to control offense. When you do that, you're going to see where you're spawning Minnesota inside this warehouse. This is not where you want to be. It's tough to get nades on the hill. Trophies are so good. You have to go through the middle of the map or through that L, which is just difficult.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet. There's still a healthy portion of time remaining on this hard point, but it seems like Ultra now making the plays to bring this back and maybe tie up the game. Back into the hard point they go. That 50-point advantage now dwindling to 30. Excellent little stretch here from Ultra, and it was Cammy and Metals really getting it done. Nice little attempt at the snap there from Cammy, but not quite up to the task to bring both down with him.
Well, Minnesota, their eyes now on Officer Green. You have Røkkr and Silly already inside. Alex, he's starting to heat up. This guy could be so fun to watch. He was amazing last year. Minnesota, they're going to get this early time. Now 40 seconds before they take map 1.
Now can Ultra fix the mistakes maybe earlier? One, they have to get in here and contest and get some time. Obviously, they lose the game. But also, can they do a better job locking down that dock side? Because right now they have it.
They did a good job. They just left an opening. And sometimes when you leave those openings, that's when the game will punish you. Contest is in. So now Minnesota, they can't win here. Toronto knows that. Looney immediately backs on up. Him and Methods are trying to make sure they control docks.
I think it's also a good job by Røkkr making sure Ultra don't get enough points on the board that they can close it out to the next one.
True.
Because this time, no spawn in the back for Røkkr. No luck on their side. It'll be the early setup from Ultra. GodRx's POV as they look to try and get this breakthrough. Here they go. The tandem. GodRx and Assault looking for the opening. Docks building pops.
Silly's pushing the other side as well. He gets taken down. But can they put pressure through the smokestack? They're trying to push that top parking lot as fast as possible. Methods trying to get in position, trying to stay alive. The pressure's there. That's Alex. He's able to win a big one-on-one. Able to win another one. Just trying to be as annoying as possible right now, waiting for his teammates to come up off spawn. Minnesota, can they get in? Can they get the clear? It is such a contest fest back and forth.
20 seconds left. Now you see on the minimap, players starting to worry about the rotation. You see the arrows starting to hike across towards the first hard point yet again. And get set up. Purple, Røkkr will be in first, but really it's been a lot of heavy contest over these last 2 hard points, but it's gonna be, what, 15 or so points for Røkkr, 50 needed for Ultra. Ultra are gonna have to go so clutch here down the stretch if they're gonna take this W. Metals, you've been the hero for Ultra in the big moments to find the multi-kills. Can you do it again? 1 week, there's the finish. Waiting for the challenge towards bottom L, but can't quite get it done. It's his teammate, actually, Looney, that shoots him in the back, but the rest of his teammates coming through with kills. It is Ultra in, and now down by 20, maybe a chance for a lead change that it seems we haven't had in ages.
And this is just one of those things as a team. What do you want to do if you are Minnesota?
They're panicking.
If you go for the win right here, you have to close it out. 3 kills come in, 4 kills come in, 1 player left. It's all Metals trying to wait for his teammates. The Røkkr are lighting it up.
They gotta close it out here. You have spots for next if you're Ultra. Røkkr's got a hold. They've got a hold to the north stand strong. Røkkr, get it done. The final push is just enough. Joe, I had the fear when you said you had to make a decision. I thought they were panicking a bit and they were just going to flood it, and if that fell apart, they were in trouble. But then right after I go, they're panicking, they get 4 kills in a row. That's one way to bust through the hard point, but what a map from multiple players. But it's GodRx, I think they led the way, 33 kills, most on his team. He's been a slang phenom at the start of this title and really the last few months of Black Ops 4. But let's take a look at this scuff play of the game. It's going to be from Røkkr. GodRx, what a map it was. As he was just finding kill after kill, you saw the kill feed lighten up. Røkkr just dominating it, but it's the final moments as they're able to get the win. They clutch up, they get the break on through. And that moment, though, that is huge.
Yep.
I know we nailed it a couple times there, but like, if that doesn't work, if the two, three players from Ultra, if they were inside, they were able to hold that. They had 2 players deep for tires. Like, that could spiral out of control quickly, and suddenly it looks like an Ultra win. But it's just a flawless break at the most important of times there for Røkkr.
Yeah, but I think what we saw in the second half was Toronto really start to heat up. Guys like Classic, guys like Metals. I mean, without a couple of their performances, that game's a mess. It was a 90, 100-point lead early on for Minnesota. That's really due to that tire shop break that was behind Silly. But Toronto, I think they're going to make this a series. That was a fun one.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to watch back, too, is like I got to see what went wrong with that one setup for Ultra. You know, when they thought they had docks set up, but they didn't have anyone back by the truck or like back towards the docks building. It was really, I think, I believe you said it was Methods that was sort of near yellow.
Near yellow,
and
yeah.
they get that, the van spawn comes in for Røkkr. Things all fall apart. So I don't know if that was a miscommunication, a little luck from Røkkr. I'd have to see it again, but it looks frustrating to deal with. Methods, you think you're in a good spot. Suddenly you're spawning out tires on the other side of the map. That's the last thing you want.
Yeah, you saw it second time around. Both him and Looney.
They were deep.
They immediately backed up.
Oh, they were deep.
They were like,
they were
they're spawning parking lot. They were staying there.
Well,
they were not letting that happen.
Yeah, that's why, as ludicrous as the spawn looked, I think they kind of did it to themselves a bit. They just didn't have anyone playing deep from that side. But first map is Røkkr to Ramazo. We will go next. And Search has been, I mean, there's been some lights out performances, some dominant efforts. I mean, FaZe haven't dropped around. Then you have teams like Surge that are going the distance, but losing all 4 Search and Destroys. They go 2 map 5s. You know, we've seen some great teams in Search, some poor teams in Search, and it's going to be fun to kind of follow the improvements over the first couple months of this league.
Yeah, Toronto Ultra, we saw this map Game 5, Round 11 against Seattle Surge.
Right?
So, you know, Minnesota, I'm sure they did their homework. We'll see what sort of strategies they come out with. And for Toronto, maybe there was a few adjustments that you want to make. You don't want it to go around 11.
And as much as we were highlighting GodRx in that previous game, Alex had a map as well. He was second in kills, but most in damage. So he led the way for his team, 31 and 27, and was putting down the damage numbers. So I think he was one of your key players to kind of watch going into this, just because of the pace he can play out a map like Hackney, and he was good, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, when you're sort of looking at like these middle of the pack teams, what we're asking ourselves is who are going to be the superstars, right? I think for Minnesota, one is simple. It's GodRx because of what he did last year. But you need 1 or 2. Who's going to be the next guy up? And, you know, with GodRx running an M4, an assault rifle on some maps, there has to be some heavy sub-pressure. That's where you're going to get it from. You're going to get it from Alex.
Alex and Asa, I mean, we don't know if we've seen the best of him yet. I mean, he kind of skyrocketed last year. Not always the best stats, but like engagement-wise, just off the charts. How annoying. I mean, I don't know if annoying is the right word. Just the amount of pressure that he was able to apply to the other team was.
Yeah, he makes the right plays, right? It's almost like,
well,
if he gets to that position and wins a couple of gunfights, you're screwed.
I think one thing that stood out for him last year too, if you followed that season, was the fact that we put so much pressure on that grapple player, and like he was one of the ones that just always seemed to be in your face, making the right plays in a position that was very difficult. Now, maybe not as much pressure on him because he doesn't have that role. We don't have the specialists to work with in this particular title, but still, that tandem with Alex, what are they going to be able to do?
Yeah, it's just always tough being the first guy in, right? We were talking about it earlier with Optic. You know, put a lot of pressure on somebody like TJ. You look at the Toronto side, I mean, somebody like Looney, somebody, you know, as fast as Metals can be. Those are the guys. We know how strong the MP5 is. Classic, he had around like 60 engagements. It's what we normally expect from him.
And we haven't seen, what do you think though, like the pre-match when they were doing the introductions, and we haven't had that a lot in our history of Call of Duty. I feel like I mean, we've got the villains sometimes, like an Aches that's been booed, but not really like,
I love it.
Not really Classic or like a Looney or a Methods that are getting booed as they walk out. Do you think that frazzles them at all?
That was one of the questions, right, coming into the league, was like, are people going to buy into their team?
I think the answer is yes, quickly.
Absolutely, right? Minnesota has answered that for me. I was pumped up, man. I was happy the crowd has this much energy tonight.
Well, they got one map done. Now let's get to the search and destroy. Minnesota fans, Røkkr is up and ready to rock into this search. Offense first, and off to the races goes Røkkr. Hey, look, he's lining up a nade.
Now let's say he's going to try to line up a smoke. We'll see where that'll land as Assault throws that out. But a lot of pressure quickly from Toronto as they take control of this B site. You do have one player top middle, and that's going to be Silly. What can he find? Finds one. Røkkr also has that first blood. They have to go quickly, though, because Looney's working the flank. They find all 3 kills at the B site. Looney can't find the second.
It's too late. I mean, your front line's already been picked apart by the time the flank gets in. There was nothing Looney could do, but that was textbook. I mean, Røkkr gets the first pick. As soon as the next player shifts focus to kind of look towards that tunnel heady, Silly peeks from mid, gets another kill. It was, I don't know, just really nice coordinated push there from Røkkr.
Yeah, it was an interesting setup from Toronto because you had nobody watching Top Cafe, and that's exactly where Silly comes from, right? He gets into that window, and once
I think there was. I'm assuming he had disrupted once Røkkr got that first blood. I think that's where
the staircase, right? And that player rotates down.
Ultra's turn on offense. Let's see what the break looks like as we watch the mini-map, see where they're going to be heading. A lot of pressure right up towards kind of carpets and that mid-cafe. Let's ace him. Just tucked away in the corner.
Just peeking the door.
He's up for a second, but it's Classic. Who was it that went up, just opened the door a little bit for Classic to get the angle? Come into my web.
Yeah, I think that was Looney that was working together with Classic. Nice little bait and switch by that door.
Peekaboo, here's my friend.
No assaults watching this cross. It's bad timing. All right, Looney didn't go, though, so that's good. The bomb didn't cross. Now he's going to know a nice little team shot, team nade. His Method's able to find that one.
Yeah, I think that was a nade, 1 bullet to the noggin, and he's going to get dropped. 4 versus 2. Massive advantage now for Ultra.
And I like this from Toronto because this is one of the maps where you can rotate so quick, right? The bomb sites, middle of the map, not far apart. So they're playing their numbers. They're waiting to see if they can catch Minnesota on rotation.
I think dead silence maybe just got popped by Røkkr.
Both teams, you see.
But there's one right in the corner. He's going to get shot in the back. The trade does come through, but now 1v3, the re-challenge in. But nice job getting away there by Ultra to make sure he don't fall. And then mid-map is Metals. More than up for the challenge. 1-1 through 2 rounds.
I like what we saw from Toronto, working middle cafe. Bottom, first it was Classic and Looney, and then up top it was Methods and one of his teammates' nades. That just opens everything up. You leave the guys at B on an island. They have to make a decision. They try to rotate towards construction, but Toronto, they have the numbers. They're already there.
Do we see any adjustments? Ultra did not go well at B the last time. And yeah, it looks to be a massive adjustment. This time sending 2 towards Cafe. Making sure Silly can't get to that easy position where he found the kills. Asim tries to just bust on through. Not going to work for him. Classic ready and waiting. He's gotten 2 kills. He's dominated that bottom Cafe area in the last 2 rounds. That's a back-to-back first bloods, I believe, for him.
Well, Metals now just sort of trying to play for information. Still a minute 30 to work with. Flash comes out from one Minnesota player, but I don't think that tags him, so they're not going to have that intel. There is Silly. I believe he's up top. Yeah, he's really going to be the playmaker for Minnesota. What can he find? Can he find a kill? If he does, then that's going to mean it's time to go. It's time to execute.
Here, he's just listening around. You heard it for RPOV too. Just all the footsteps. Stomping around below him.
Can't find him in the smoke, and now he's got to be careful.
Still 50 seconds to work with.
Not an easy shot.
Metals, you're not winning that gunfight. That looks so easy from Metals with a great position, one of the more dominant spots on this map to take a one-on-one gunfight. Good luck, Assault. Can't take it. Metals with 3 in the round and back-to-back rounds for Ultra.
Yeah, that's just those adjustments, right? First of all, they don't give Silly. I don't know how Silly's going to be up there with, not anyone noticing him, or maybe they have a smoke for him to get inside that window room. But they made the adjustment. They didn't peek him. If they did, they threw a smoke in him.
I think it's another round.
To that position.
They're sending both players low. I don't think they sent anyone top Cafe. So it's sometimes tough, I know, to tell on the mini map like who's high, who's low. Classic, back-to-back first bloods. He's been doing so well inside a Cafe. No one there this time. to get the trade. Well, it's Classic that actually gets him right away. So Classic again, nice job at Bottom Cafe, 4 versus 4. Assault with a nice angle, easy pickings from the step, and gets away with his life.
As well, Methods, I think he's chasing. I think it's Assault. He knows he's there, but I think he gets some bad timing. I'm not sure what's going on. Assault's gonna have a free kill. Now a 1 versus 1.
Classic versus Silly.
Classic has Daddy popped. He has Daddy popped.
He gets spotted. Silly can't quite finish him. Classic's gonna reach out, but Silly wins the gunfight and brings us all square.
I immediately thought as soon as he gets into this staircase, he was just gonna dip down the road and go to construction, just rotate the bomb.
I actually don't mind the re-challenge because he ended up, I think just because of how high Silly was aiming, like he kind of got the jump on him. It looked like there was enough time for Classic to take that gunfight. I don't know if he missed some shots or just the reposition from Silly, but
I like it. I disagree.
He almost caught him off guard, man. I think he had a chance to win it. We'll trust your opinion, though, as you're a much smarter Call of Duty brand than I am.
I mean, it's a free plan A. You know,
Yeah,
he's not
true.
there.
That's true. I just like confidence. Or stupidity. Here they go, trying to slide on through. It's going to be the first one in. Takes one down on Metals and Classic there in a hole. Classic again going huge.
Well, you don't have Silly up here this time, right? So there's nobody putting pressure on this guy around Top Cafe or Bottom Cafe. So when they jump out through the B tunnel, there's just so many angles to check in the setup for Toronto. Probably going to win them this round. As Gatarax and Silly are in a tough position now. They have to try to get the bomb, and you have to challenge this guy on this truck.
He may not have heard your footsteps, but I'll tell you what he did here. Bursting through that door, you saw just the change in POV from Methods in there. An easy gunfight for him. Gatarax, a last chance, 1 versus 4. Just under a minute to go, and he will drop it top bridge. Ultra, answer the call.
Now, I want to see which team is going to be the first one to throw an A-hit, because some of the Ramazza search and destroys that we've watched this weekend, A has worked out pretty darn well.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him like rotate out to it, like late in the round. So who's leading the way stats-wise? You got Classic at 8 and 4. Excellent job from him. Still waiting to see who's going to lead the way on the Røkkr side. Well, you wanted the A hit. Everybody towards top rugged bridge.
Yeah, I figured it was about time to switch it up. You still have 2 at B for Minnesota. Asim's all the way back Cafe, so he's not going to see much of the cross. But it's Silly, Assault, locking down that construction area.
The smoke is out. You think they'll start to make some progress behind that, but are they looking to maybe wrap this out? No, it looks like they're worried about the flank for now, because look, like Ruins Tunnel, whatever you want to refer to it as, kind of wide open right now. They're worried someone might be pushing the flank with dead silence, but not the case as of now. Bomb carrier's kind of waiting.
Cammy's working his way up the middle. Cammy's all the way up the middle. Cammy's all the way up the middle right now, but he's not able to get through. I think he pops dead silence, tries to go up back construction.
I think he almost gets lucky. Almost finds nice timing.
Yep. Well, it was a 5v3, now cut down to a 3v3.
Make it a 3v2 after Alex gets the kill. Now Classic has been the shining star thus far, but it's all going to fall to Classic. 1 versus 3. If we could hop to Classic's POV and see if he can make this clutch.
He's got to get the bomb, has to plant it as well. It takes 5 seconds to get it down. Trying to see what he can find. There's nobody inside of A, so they will give the plant up for now. But that's the easy part. Clutching it is the hard part.
I think maybe he might have had vision of that player for just a moment, but as he's flying around, doesn't spot him. Nice position there from Assault. Hits the shots and gets the round. Any major adjustments you're seeing need to be made?
Who's going to win that offense, right? I mean, that's really been it.
You said that to me multiple times this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a trend earlier in search for titles because it's a little bit harder to get efficient on offense for teams early in titles?
Yeah, depending on the amount of practice, right? Both these teams have put in.
I feel like, I don't know, needs more coordination at times than your defensive setups.
Minnesota, it's their turn to go at construction.
Just
able to get around the corner.
Wow, barely gets around the corner.
Cammy, though, he's able to find the first blood for Toronto. Can Asim make the play? There's 2 players here. The rest of his teammates, I think, are just waiting for him. He's going to have to be the one to make the play.
You can see Cammy just laying prone right around the corner. Looney sneaking his way up as well. This should be the engagement.
Oh, the timing!
Spotted out. Looney wins it.
That little pole.
Silly biding his time across. Assault, I believe, with Deddy Pop is going to push right up mid-map. Can he get behind enemy lines?
He might have. He might have got around him. Can he do enough work from here, though? His teammate's trying to stay alive, but Cammy gets another one. Assault, he's going to pop, but Looney almost takes him down.
It got very, very close, but Assault able to finish it. Not going to matter as he's ultimately going to drop. GodRx falls right behind him, and it's back-to-back rounds for Ultra, who now take control in this game, too. That little game of cat and mouse between Asim and Looney, that goes differently. Sight might get opened up. They probably push behind that. Things go very differently, but Looney with a crucial one-on-one within that round. Down but not out, Røkkr. Look to fight back. They fly on through. They fly right on through.
This could actually work out. There's nobody pushed up B side. Only players in the B bomb site in that building. Look at the risk that they're taking. They lose the gunfight, but they do have site control. But it's Alex and Asim who find kills. Classic, though. He's now in double digits with 11.
Looney's nade hits home as well. 2 versus 2. Looney and Classic going up against Silly and Alex.
Can Silly get this kill on the Looney? Because that's the bomb that's the bomb carrier. That's the bomb. Yep. Now he has to wait for his teammate. I like that. Doesn't over challenge, and guess what? Classic's here already. Nice teamwork from Toronto.
He thinks he's just backing up. Unfortunately, backing right up into Classic, who tacks on his 12th kill and 3 in this round. This is an important spot. Alex, can you clutch it? They still have to get bomb planted. It's all about the sneak and the timing. Can you get it on your side?
It's gonna be one of those things where if he's, okay, you must hear him. Can he get the bomb planter? 30 seconds to work with now. There's so many angles that they have to check.
Here he comes, right on through, gets him up, but the trade is there. I thought maybe he was just gonna peek it for a second, get the kill and back out, but he just went for it.
Yeah, I think what he's hoping is that when his comes up from his slide, he's behind the bomb. It's a tougher shot if that player's at a different angle.
It's a valiant effort, but nice trade there from Ultra. Now there's one more round needed behind Classics. Incredible performance. Got 3 on defensive. B for Ultra. The 3-man hit coming as well, but it's 2 players at Cafe looking for the opening from Røkkr. Silly and Alex working together. Silly's gonna get tagged up, just barely get away with his life for now.
Have to try to deal with Metals deep in that B pocket. It's just so difficult with all the angles and all the cover he has.
And Metals is kind of pushed up to an aggressive position as well for Ultra. You saw him on GodRx's left. He's tucked up in that corner right outside.
Watch Cammy. Cammy's starting to work up. Cammy's able to find one. The trade is there, though. but all of Ultra are near this B site. Minnesota know that. They're trying to rotate out, and it's wide open. Cammy is their A player. Classic's trying to find something. I think Classic's behind him. Classic trying to line him up. Gonna find almost all three.
But what a play from Classic. Now 15 and 5 as he finds the timing to get on through. Assault and Alex in a 2v4 for their game 2 hopes. But the bomb has been planted. Can they clutch up? What a momentum swing this could be if they could make the play. Oh, just gets out.
Looney's on it.
Anyone's there? No one's there to get the angle. The defuse is going to come through. Looney's going to get it in, and Ultra are going to win. Behind the numbers, they get the defuse, and what an answer to silence this crowd in the search and destroy. But that is all Classic. Round after round, play after play. Classic was a monster for Ultra. Our series now tied 1-1. Domination coming up after this quick break.
We trying to get hype. We trying to get hype. We trying to get hype. We trying to get hype.
Metro by T-Mobile. Complete your mission with the best deal in wireless.
Hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is Sunday evening and we're into our Battle of the North right now. And it's pretty even Stevens, actually, I must say so myself. We've got quite a battle on our hands to crown the North champions here today. And I just want to talk about what we've been seeing recently so far. Let's just talk about Minnesota Røkkr first. These guys had a really hot start to things and the crowd were getting really, really hyped. Momo, what did you make of their gameplay?
I mean, so far so good, right? I mean, we saw them play this map, obviously, before. We've seen the same players going off before. Godorex and Alex, for me, were the kind of two superstars. Versus the Gorillas, they went combined 61 and 38. Versus these guys, 64 and 53. It was just slaying power. And honestly, heading into the Search and Destroy, we just see kind of more of the same. Very impressed so far with Minnesota.
Indeed. And Nameless, you know, looking at Search and Destroy here, what was going wrong for for Minnesota Røkkr? What couldn't they just quite get that lead on Toronto Ultra?
They couldn't stop Classic. He was having his way with them throughout the entire game, and I actually really like the way the Ultra were playing the Search and Destroy. We saw them play this yesterday against the Surge, where they were able to close it out in Game 5, but there are a couple strategies that they used where they were sticking together, like when they pushed through mid and through those doors, where they traded out, and it was a 2 versus 2 situation, actually, and Classic goes all the way through a Search and Destroy side, wraps back, and they set up a pinch on Silly. Him and Looney kill Silly. They go over towards A, they plant it, and they use their numbers. That's communication, that is veteran leadership, and that's experience shown in that round right there. That was amazing gameplay out of Ultra.
Indeed, and we did see some flashy plays coming through, and that leads me on to our US Army tactical play of the game. That beautiful near 3-piece from Classic here. Stuff like this is just a huge momentum builder for your team going into a round.
Turn around.
You can start to try, exactly. If you can start to try and get those numbers off the board. Oh, so close right there, Momo.
It really was very close. I mean, the 3-piece would have been nice. Inevitably, it didn't really matter. But one thing I want to bring up again is Toronto, the one team that have this kind of 10-man roster that can play against each other in Search and Destroy. Speaking to some of the staff and the coaching staff as well, they're saying that's helped them tremendously. This is something that, again, every team would love, but not every team has that privilege. They might have a couple of subs, 3, maybe 4, but this 2 5-man rosters going head-to-head. I even saw them in the practice booth playing against each other on S&D, so
wow.
Great to see, and great to see it working well.
Amazing. Well, head-to-head it is. It's 1-1 right now. Merc Maven, let's get back into the action.
Thank you very much. We're excited to get back in, but I like this series so far, kind of how it's playing out, because, yeah, the crowd really behind Røkkr, right? All into it. They get that first map win. People are going nuts. Ultra respond. You hear them silence the crowd. You hear them get something going, and now we've got ourselves a series. I feel like it's starting now with map 3.
What do they say? You could hear a needle drop? Like, you could. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, they were nothing in map 2.
Well, that's all on Ultra for making the plays down the stretch. Classic with that massive play you saw highlighted on the desk, and just an all-around incredible performance out of him and Ultra. Now to Hackney Dom we go. We'll see who can get the edge in this series. Keep our eyes on the all-stars we've been talking about, and players like GodRx and the Røkkr. For Ultra, who can dominate and maybe be the crowd silencer like you saw from Classic. Sometimes, when you're like the away team, away game, you need that superstar performance out of somebody to get the guys going. But the Røkkr chance start once again, as Methods looks for the opening and finds them top L.
Now early on AB control, we know it is the preferred setup on Hackney Yard domination. Nice shots from Methods. It's going to stop the potential cap here at B. It does go through. Already, Classics on top of it. Those nades come through both of those windows. I think that's why it's the preferred side. It's easier to defend this B flag.
Well, it's just neutral for now. They haven't quite been able to finish it yet. I've learned when it's white, the big way to tell is the letter color. You see how it's filled in on the C, but it's black when you take a look at the B. That's the way you can tell if it's captured in neutral. It confused me at first, because it's like a white flag regardless, right?
Thank you for the maiden tip.
There you go, there you go. I had to pick that up the other day because we were commentating a white color team. I was like, I don't know if it's neutral or they got it. So for fans at home, that's also how you can tell.
Toronto, they're trying to go towards this alpha flag. One player back there, I think, just got taken down. This could be a big chance for Toronto Ultra to take control of this game. It looks like they're in a neutral A. They may get B as well. What is Minnesota? How do they want to react off this? They want to go back to A. They finish the capture at C. B not finished yet.
It's about halfway there. It's getting close, and they have that AB control that they would love. It's going to be Metals that's dealing with pressure coming in. I think that's going to be GodRx that was looking to make the play. He's not quite able to do it. Metals able to stand tall and defend A. B, though, still just not quite able to finish it.
It's huge, though, for Toronto. The fact that they're able to flip these flags, and now you have alpha control.
Well, I mean, you've done a great job in just not letting a lot of points come in for Røkkr early, but now that you got the flip, I think it's on you to try and put some points on the board. It's just insane this much time has gone by and no one's been able to cap it.
It's just great. M4 shots from Assault. Continues to stop it. It's just like slowing it down time and time again. And because he has top L position, that allows his teammates to reinforce inside this warehouse. Nice little move from Asim. Does immediately get traded out as Metals Him and Looney are going to finish it up, and that should be an A-B hold now for Toronto.
I thought that about 7 times, though.
That's what I said.
There we go. There we go.
It's secure.
This time they got it now with 3.5 minutes remaining. What kind of lead can they push open? You've at least got L control now if you're Røkkr as they try to flood through. It's Looney that's going to be lying in wait. I thought he was going to snap there onto Silly, but Silly does take him down. And look at the spawn really coming in for Røkkr. You're spawning all the way towards top office. You have to make a decision. Are you going to wrap back and put pressure on B? Will you try to flip it A? As Asim gives him the butter knife.
Yeah, you're just split way too much. I mean, you have a couple of players going towards B. You have Silly going towards A. You have to do something as a team. It looks now, they're all together. The smokes come through. Behind that, 3 go down. Assault and Asim. That's going to be 4. The last player up is Looney. Trying to stay alive, trying to buy time for his team. There we go. Minnesota, they're going to neutral B.
You leave one person there, try to finish the cap. Everyone else slides forward to try and alleviate the pressure from that cap. They die, but they do just that. So both points controlled now for Røkkr. Only down 8. Big chance here for a momentum swing for Røkkr. Alex at top AC just trying to help his teammates mid-map while locking down the front door inside as well. Looney though with a flank, he's gonna pop the dead silence. Coming from behind. 2 easy kills, a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be at first, but 2 kills nonetheless. Neutral in for B. CNA also capped by Ultra as they get it done on the opposite side of the map as well.
Nice win from Alex. That's going to neutral out this flag. Going to give them A control once again. They're on top of B as well. A nice flip from Minnesota. They also have another player at C. I don't think he got the neutral, but at least slows down the Toronto push because that player is just going to have to get all that progress down. Alex on a 5 spree right now. He's starting to turn things around.
Let's see how far he can push out this spree as he's hunting for more. Out to mid he goes. Chance to make a flank with dead silence. Up, Methods though ready and waiting for him. Gets the smoke stacks and gets his head peeled clean off. Asim from top window, trying to slow down this wave from Z. And you can see when you get control of top green, when you've got L pushed out, the pin, the trap that you're able to get makes it so hard for Ultra to really do anything. He repositions lower.
I think Minnesota, if they could, because they started on the A side, they would love to try to at least get a neutral towards C. It almost feels like Toronto's playing a little bit defensive. They're happy with the result of this first half right now, as they should be.
Just making sure there's no big 3 cap stretch for the final minute.
Yeah, you know, only go down 5-6 points, you'll take that going into the preferred side.
You know, feel like as long as you're disciplined from Ultra, you should be able to take over the lead the early going in the second half. But as time dwindles, yes, it's a Røkkr lead, but it may not feel like one based on the starting spawns. All right, Røkkr up, what, 8? That's not much though, Joe. I know the crowd's getting behind him, but that is not much of a lead. It's hard to even call it a lead on this particular map.
Well, you didn't have to kill the drive.
I know, I sort of did. I apologize, but that's the facts of the matter, Joe.
We'll see how they're still winning. It's okay. Like,
okay, all right, okay. I apologize. I'm a very ruthless man.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. See now, what will Minnesota do? What's going to be their starting push? And already 3 headed towards mid-map and top green.
They're thinking flip, flip, flip early.
And it's going to be Alex and Asim. Starting to get pushed up.
Yeah, these are the battles I'm most curious about.
They got to go quick, though, because B's about to come in as it does, and now Toronto can back up. They can help on the flank. Almost a little bit too slow on that execution. Alex and Assault. Alex is able to find nice multi-kill. Allows them to neutral.
There's a flip though. Classic was all the way pushed through towards C. 3 are going to spawn on him.
Looney knows though. Looney knows he's going to try to do his best if he can. We can flip to Looney's point of view. Gonna try to make the play for Toronto. They know someone's back here. Can't win the gunfight. It's ASIM again. In Minnesota, this is exactly what they wanted. They secure A, they have this set up now.
Now you can ignore everything that I said heading into the half. This is looking fantastic for Røkkr. Ultra, though, they are in trouble. They've got to fight out of it. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Ultra.
Yo, they're spawning useless.
And it's top L. Top X, top house dead.
Tell him if you can. I need a door. I need a door. Nice.
Someone go out.
Wait, their door. Yeah, one to the door. And guys outside.
Nate,
And
their
bottom
door.
green. Inside bottom green.
Yeah, no.
You have that?
Okay, yeah.
You can go
They're
there.
ready. Oh, one more back blue roof.
Yo, he's top green. Scaff is scaff. Alex is scaff. I am scaff. Do the door.
Nice.
Have a seat.
Someone go top out.
Top out.
Yeah, one's P3.
Top AC.
Just try stay alive as long as you can.
P3 dead.
Nice, I spawn green.
I need top and B. Is top AC. Yo, what's top B?
I'm
He's
good.
yellow barrel. He's neutral B. Top bell.
Don't pray.
I need it up there. Watch B. Go there. Quick.
I'm playing neutral on A. Yeah, oh, on A silly.
There's two on B, bro. Wait, where will guys? I'm mid stacks right now. Going down mid stacks. What's on the barrel dead? I need help. Top AC dead.
It's AB control for Røkkr. They're still in a good spot, but Toronto, they busted through. A chance to at least neutral B, maybe do more damage behind that. Trying to thrust in, bust through the doorways will be Røkkr, just trying to disrupt anything they can, but it's Metals with the multi-kill yet again that goes huge for Ultra. And despite the fact that it feels like it's been AB side control for Røkkr for quite some time, Ultra made it scrappy, especially around B. They've held CB 2-cap control to keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, still a 12-point lead. That's a 2-cap for 1 minute. You're still feeling good if you're Minnesota. You know you're gonna get back into B. Silly. Those 2 kills may open things up. Here comes the push now. Alex, ASIM starting to work through the middle of the map. They've got Rex on the other side waiting for him, but it's Cammy. Top L shuts down that push. Beautifully done from him. And Rex, you see he has to back on up to his side, just wait for his teammates to respawn.
Yeah, it's like they back up and Ultra just
one
pushes
spawns out.
forward.
One spawns out towards C. ASIM, he spawns out, and well, he's just gonna neutral this.
And I don't know if it's because they push out of that B area a little too aggressively, but it's a blessing for Røkkr. They'll be able to neutral C, keep control of A. He's the only one that spawns out, so there's not any kind of flip. He's going to end up dropping, but that's fine. Drop, spawn back on your teammates, and worry about A and B. You at least get a neutral and shave off, what, 3-4 points there that might have been earned for Ultra?
Yeah, job
And when
well
it's a
done.
3-point game, that's a big difference.
Yeah, job well done, though, by Toronto. Because they held on to B while that was going on. Minnesota, they were so worried about losing A. Like 2 or 3 of them just backed up. They knew the spawns were going to be a little bit weird in that situation.
They have a big advantage now, though. If they had a 3-on-1 inside, they were able to win that. Spawning up towards office will be Ultra. It's the moment for B control for Røkkr, but at the same time, they lose players at their home cap. Flooding towards A will be Ultra. B, though, now neutral. B now getting capped. Assault in the window. A clean 5-man wipe as Ultra fall to the wasteland. Røkkr, 2-cap, 154, 154.
Beautifully done by Assault as he's still on a 5 spree right now. He's going to be top AC in a power position and a half with this M4 Assault rifle. He's going to see one cross. It's desperation time now. 1 minute and 10 left for Toronto. They have to get a 2-flag tap. Start earn some points. Classic, he's able to get through, has the help of Methods. He knows he's got to get on it, though. He's got to get on it. He's shooting the trophy. Meanwhile, he's getting shot by RX.
Yeah, by
Methods, he flies on through, though.
Methods with a big triple. Is it going to be enough? They've got the neutral, but they need the points.
Gotta
15
go
seconds
now.
remaining. You've got to get this cap, but the reinforcements from Røkkr are there. ASIM, Assault, the dynamic duo. Hold on. The B cap being defended valiantly. It's another 2 for ASIM. A 3rd for ASIM as he goes 5 in a row in the final 30 seconds. What a play from the youngster.
with 11-point lead, only 20 seconds left. That is going to do it here on Hack the Yard domination. It wasn't the best first half for Minnesota, but they responded in the second. They flipped the ball control, and ASIM right now, he's putting on a show. 8 hometown
in a row for ASIM in the final moments, and Røkkr take the lead. There were some moments there at B when it got scrappy, when it got nasty. ASIM and Assault would go huge in and around this site, and the crowd loved what they saw there. It's like Toronto may have silenced them for a while, but not anymore. What an ending to that dom. As ASIM ends up 28-25, and 8 of those big ones come at the end. Lottie, guys on the desk, what did you think?
I thought that Minnesota Røkkr were rocking the stage right there. That was absolutely insane. I love a good close game. I love a little bit of rivalry going on as well. I think the North are in trouble. I'm not sure who's going to be taking this. I think there's going to be a split decision. I think the North are in for an absolute shock with who they're going to be following here. But, you know, I do want to talk about right now some training. And I know that all different teams have different ways of training. But I think Gary V has got a little bit of a crazy training scheme for his boys. So check this out.
We have the inaugural season of Call of Duty kicking off this year, and I'm joined here by the Minnesota Røkkr, 2 world champions in Cillian Assault. We got the British man holding it down in Alex and Godarex. Alex, I assume, is this your first time fishing at all?
I've been fishing, normal fishing, not ice fishing. Whoa, that's a big one. That boy ugly.
You guys are representing a city now. Does that change anything for you?
We've already had people tweet us saying it's really cool to see them have like their own home team, and they feel like it's definitely going to be like a hell of an experience for them to finally get to go to an event and see their home team play and live like on the main stage.
You have everybody in your, the city you're representing cheering for you. You're pretty much, we're trying to be like a sports team out here and build a fan base. So there's definitely a lot more people to play for. I'm super sick though. That's why I sound like this. My apologies.
So why do you think we're not catching any fish?
I think they're a little camera shy or something, I don't know.
What do you guys think your perception is in the community?
I don't think we get the respect that we deserve.
Most teams I end up being on always underrated at the start.
And I assume you're going to be the sniper for the team for Search, or is that still like in the works? There's no internal battles for that?
We can confirm that. He's going to be the sniper. I think just the chemistry we have outside of game, we all just got along right away, which is kind of huge. Certain teams, they don't get along behind the scenes.
Oh,
so, I think that's just like a huge X factor for us.
What's y'all's like records against each other?
I mean, I'm up on everyone on this team.
You guys think I'm as slow as everyone made it out to be?
I don't know. You're pretty slow. I'm not gonna.
No! No!
What, did you have one?
Yeah, I had a big one, yeah.
So the first match you guys have of the inaugural season is against the LA Gorillas.
With the lack of practice they had, I feel like they're going to be very unprepared when it comes to our first match against them.
The LA Gorillas are just not that good.
So what are your predictions for the series?
3-0.
Ooh.
I think we're really going to prove people wrong with the whole middle of the pack thing and come out swinging.
When you guys are going against Toronto, the Battle of the North.
The fans should go absolutely wild for us, because we are the actual most northern city, not Toronto, and we'll be sure to prove that on a Sunday night.
Game 5, round 11, 1v1, Justin and the Fish.
Yes, this is it. Pull up.
Oh! Oh, it's a decent one.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming out. I had a great time ice fishing. I really hope that your cod skills this year, though, are better than our actual fishing abilities, though. Best luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Mark Maven, is this what Chance does on his off-season weekends? I need to know.
We have a few theories on what he does, but we're not too sure, actually.
I'm going to tell a story about Chance.
I have no idea. Careful there.
We were talking. We were talking last year. It was hysterical about what the schedule might be like this year and the change to what was going to go down. And we had one of our guys working with the talent say, you need to just move kind of middle of the country near a major airport. You're going to be traveling a lot. A week later, Chance's like, I'm moving to Minneapolis. And we were like, what? All right, why? He's like, I don't know, it looks cool. First events here. Like, what are the chances of that? He had no idea at the time.
Driving to work.
Yeah, he lives like 20 minutes away or something. It's just absolutely crazy. He picks this city, and this is where we start. But no, he seriously moved like a week after that. It was hysterical. Chance is pure comedy.
It wouldn't surprise me if he ice fish more often.
Oh, no, he's definitely an ice fisherman, for sure. But back to the series. Røkkr have the lead at 2-1. Can they end it here?
This has been a close map all weekend long between every single
It's like
match.
the biggest win has been 60 or something,
80
it feels
points,
like.
I think we saw earlier between Chicago and Optic, and we felt like that was a big one. As well, Minnesota, we're going to start out on the right side of your map, and that's where they want to be for the second hill. But as this is going on, Toronto getting a lot of time here at Town Center.
Why did you say that? The contest is able to come in
That's
behind
usually
Alex.
what happens, right?
Alex just gets in. Good job contesting. Then Silly looking over him from that power position inside of yellow. Fantastic shots with the M4. Not a lot left in his clip. He doesn't have many bullets to work with. He's down to his final 6. Ah, he doesn't need many bullets. And now it comes to the knife. Get him, Silly.
Trying to find him.
Get him. Get him. Oh, just a little bit short, but no choice there as he didn't have any bullets left in his gun. But what kind of job do they do to control that right side of the cave? There's already some forward momentum back towards Outpost from Ultra, looking to break in the backside, but they pick up that kill, now trying to funnel them all through. Solid job thus far in the early going from Røkkr on Cave East.
Yeah, that was Silly in assault. Silly comes up, wins a big one-on-one. A 7-3 start for him. Cammy still putting pressure towards this side. The rest of Toronto trying to flood through middle. But it's Alex, it's Silly. They're taking care of business right now. Alex finds a double on the hill. And now they're starting to get pushed out. How does Toronto want to try to break this? It's what we've seen all weekend long. A couple of smokes through middle tunnel. And you're just trying to go on through. Cammy with that one-on-one, I think will give them some breathing room. And with 20 seconds left, Toronto doesn't want to put much more towards this.
You don't want to risk flipping this. I mean, if you're Røkkr, just clear out the back. Try and get out of the backside, and then maybe somehow end up popping Toronto in the back and flip this in the final couple of seconds. But they're not going to be able to do that. So Field set up early from Ultra. Now, how can Røkkr make their moves out of the cave and try to make this a little chaotic early in the hard point?
It's Alex again. It's Alex again. Him and Asim. They're able to find 3 kills. You immediately see Alex go right down the middle of the map. Asim now trying to work Broken. Well, he's going to find another kill. They've already broken the setup. The team works here for Minnesota. A 40-point lead. It could grow even larger here.
It just can't be that easy.
Nope.
It can't be that easy. Sensational stuff from Røkkr to put Ultra on the back foot at Field almost instantly, as no one will be in the hard point for now. But you've got broken control for Røkkr. You have one pushed up all the way towards Spiral, so Cammy can continue to put shots in. But they've got, I think that's Silly that's pushed up into Spiral. Silly gets 2 in Spiral before he drops. That sets his teammates up, and that's going to be control for Røkkr. 14-7 already from Silly, man. He's a bad man.
Yeah, we're going to have a big rotation gunfight going down. Assault's able to find one if we can hop to his point of view. He's got a couple more players to deal with, but he's just staying alive. Now his teammates are here. Silly coming through the middle. Silly able to find one. He does get traded, but Alex is here now. An 80-point lead. Assault still alive deep in this pocket. This could be beautifully done, but it's Cammy from Toronto Ultra. But as soon as I say that, Silly continues. 17-8 from Silly to start map 4.
80-point advantage, and the M4 is lighted up for Røkkr. And this is just like we talked about with the Huntsman in an earlier series. Like, they dominated Cave. They dominated Cave, and that's what Røkkr is doing. God RX, Silly, Assault. Look at just all headshots across the board with that M4. A lead now over 100. It might be too late soon for Ultra. They've got to do something, but this first set of rotations, awful for Ultra. Can they do anything at Outpost? Metals set up in that position in the back, his teammates rallying over. for the first time in what seems the entire map, they're set up.
And how did Minnesota decide to break this? Classic's doing a great job on that path. Trying to lock it down, does get traded, but Minnesota just so far from this hill right now. It's exactly what Toronto needed to get themselves back into the game. Now comes the front push from the Røkkr. Method starting to heat on up. He had a very slow start before this. He was 3 and 11, probably due to silly double positive.
If you're Ultra, you did a good job here to at least get some points on the board. In the final 20 seconds, Røkkr will finally get in, but the stats lower down. We'll look through it. Silly has been a highlight machine here at 21 and 11. On the other end of it, Cammy, 15 and 12, top of the leaderboard for Ultra. First set of rotation now done. Back to town center we go. If you're Ultra, you have to clean up Cave. You've got to clean up Cave,
well,
especially
if you're Ultra,
you
got to get out of this. Rex with a knife kill. Starting to make a montage here on the main stage, and they just have the Ultra trapped back here. They can't get out. A spawn from Metals. It's going to help alleviate some pressure, but they have gotten so much time. Rex with a 5 spree. And with that flip, they get set up for Cave East as well.
Well, we'll stick with Røkkr as he's got 5 in a row at 20 and 8. There's one player underneath him now. He just got in behind. Is that gonna cost him? Is he gonna catch him? He's able to do it. 6 in a row now for Røkkr. More chance to do damage. Another one. The flood through the smoke. One into blue, one into yellow. Can Røkkr continue to make the play? Finally, he's gonna get cut down, but this is a massive moment for Toronto's comeback chances. And unfortunately, as you look at the map, what do you see in Cave? It's all purple arrows on the mini-map.
Yeah, and those rotation kills just so big. Silly wins another one-on-one against Metals. Ace him, he's got an M4 set up. Alex is so far pushed up. Hello, Looney. Ooh, sorry, Cammy. Cammy's able to win that, but doesn't matter because the rest of his teammates pick up all the other kills. Looney trying to go all the way around to do what he can as he finds a double of his own. And at least Classic has gotten them off the hill for now, but this is just such a massive lead. And Assault, Silly, these guys are not missing.
Well, Joe and I were saying we haven't seen many blowouts on this map. Maybe a chance for a 100-point club, which I can't think of many we've had this weekend.
I don't think we've had any.
Not one that jumps to my head. 200 points to 58. Røkkr showing who reigns supreme in the North right now, just slapping Ultra around. At least it's better at field. You didn't let Alex just get 2 kills instantly and break in as soon as it toggles over. Okay.
So here they come. Grouping up. Just as I say that, 4 in a row for Toronto. We'll slow down the push. Now you have to regroup. Silly's gonna wait for his guys to spawn back up. Classic tried to get push out of blue. He gets cut down. Alex with 2 more. Trophy is going to protect from those throwables. So behind that, Silly, the rest of Minnesota, you already see the top of the mini-map. They've already rotated for Cave West.
You have such a big lead, who cares?
Yeah, you can have that.
Yep, you're up 100+ points. Rotate 20 seconds early. You don't need to throw anything else at field. Just get the perfect setup that you want. I thought one might be able to sneak through yellow, but that's Classic, who does get caught by Alex. So no 2-pronged attack for Ultra to try and break in as Cave West now pops. How long can Ultra keep them out of the hard point? Just 40 points needed for Røkkr. Classic doing everything he can.
That's where it gets a little bit scary. Obviously, when you rotate with so much time, you have to be able to execute. And I think behind Alex, who's on a 4 spree, another 5 spree for him. Might be able to do so. He sneaks through the smoke for his 6 in a row. Tries to find number 7. Only 30 more seconds here. Classic does it again, and look at the mini-map, that white arrow trying to go all the way towards the bottom side. That's going to be Metals. So, I mean, Toronto, they've done pretty darn well here considering...
To stay alive, stay alive.
How early Minnesota rotated, and Metals is there, already at outpost.
Where's the spawn come in though for Røkkr? They're still spawning on the east side of the cave, so very close at outpost hardpoint. Now 3 players from Ultra have to hike it the entire way across the map. At least you have Metals pushed up from the early rotation.
Trying to do what he can.
I mean, he's just staying up till his teammates get there. Did a wondrous job to at least take one with him as now the reinforcements come in, but Silly. Delightful shots over the top of the outpost to pick up a kill. The 3 through for Ultra as well. They're keeping it scrappy for now.
I said Looney went on a big flank. He was able to find 2 kills as he pushed on through, but the spawn stuck.
You don't say. You don't say.
Thought he would have influenced them out. I thought wrong.
And behind that close spawn, Røkkr goes huge.
They can win it here.
Røkkr can take the map, take the series, dominate the North with these final 8 points. Scrambling in is Ultra. Can they get in? Can they slow it down? Can they get to a map 5? They can't do it. It's a Røkkr victory. As the fans rejoice, what a start for Røkkr. 2-0 at home. They throw this lovely weekend from us and they come out strong. You gotta love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely do. It was a back and forth battle, but I mean, it was just such a fast start in that map number 4 for Røkkr. Toronto, a good fight. We'll see them later on. I think they're in London, but man, Minnesota, this is exactly what they wanted to see.
Røkkr did it. They get the 2-0 start. Let's hear from the man himself. Silly is on stage with Puckett.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. That's right. It's time for your instant reaction powered by PlayStation. And I got the man who just had his name chanted, Silly, on the main stage. Minneapolis, did you enjoy that show? Silly, they have had your back since the very first minute of this launch weekend. How does it feel to be playing in front of your home crowd?
To finally have a home team advantage is an awesome feeling. I'm glad we can come out and represent and go 2-0 for all the fans out there, and I love it here.
It's been so fun to watch because coming in, no one knew what to expect from this team. We heard you guys were great in scrims. You showed up strong against the LA Gorillas, but tonight you made a statement in the battle for the North. What was it like playing against the Ultra, and how did you guys come out on top?
We honestly just weren't going to let them beat us on our home turf. It wasn't happening no matter what the maps were, no matter what was going on. We weren't going to let them come here and beat us.
We know you guys are going to be traveling all around the world. What is next for this team? What are you guys going to be doing in the time between now and London?
Honestly, our respawn is pretty sound right now. We definitely have to work on some S&D, play it a little more together, and once we get that down, we're good to go.
Last but not least, any final words you have for this amazing crowd that we hope to see again next time the Call of Duty League comes back to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Thank you guys so much for everything this weekend. I love you guys. I'm proud to be a part of Minnesota, and see you at the next event.
From the desert to the tundra, Silly, a member here of the Minnesota Røkkr. You guys have been amazing. Don't go anywhere. We got plenty more Call of Duty League with the post game coming up next.